money doesn't really play a huge role into how you look. 6 ways to look classy and expensive for cheap. If you want to look refined and amazing, that does not mean you have to wear all designer brands. And today I'm going to be sharing with you 6 concepts on how you can do exactly that, because that is what we are about on my channel, is to look fine-tuned, be our best selves, dress our best, all of the above. Basically be our best possible selves. And actually I have a full program dedicated to just that called $1 Million Lady. It's going to be linked down below if you are interested. So let's start out with these tips. The first one is one of my favorites, and that is wearing white or light colors. For example, what I'm wearing right now. And the reasoning for that is very interesting. You might not even think about it. Is that we tend to buy darker colors because they're more practical. They will last us a longer time. If we walk in darker shoes and we get them dirty, then, you know, it's not a big deal because we can just kind of rinse it off and you won't even be able to tell. Same applies to clothing. But white colors and light colors, it's not the same. They're typically not lasting as long just because they are of lighter colors and they just don't have that same longevity. But this actually subconsciously signals abundance and that you have resources. So instead of purchasing, you know, darker colors all the time, consider white. I also think they are quite uplifting and also will make you stand out because not many people go for lighter colors. And it doesn't have to be white, it could be cream or beige or maybe a nice pastel color. It really depends. Tip number 2 is wearing something monochrome. 2-piece set or maybe a dress that is one color, just kind of almost like a minimalistic color, whether it's maybe a nice shade of green or again a lighter color, especially lighter monochromes. They actually also make you look taller because it gives that illusion of a long straight figure, but at the same time it does look very expensive for whatever reason, even if it's like $20. For some reason these colors just look very elegant. Not colors, but the colors and the styles. If you pair especially a light color with a monochrome look, mwah, you will just look stunning. I think these work for even loungewear, even if it's a matching kind of a sweatsuit. It could look really amazing in a monochrome, not just like mismatched random colors. If it's a skirt and a top or a blouse and it's monochrome, I think that's just amazing. And if you find shoes that are also of the same tone, just great. So take that tip. The next one is having a statement piece. If your outfit is pretty average or just well made, for example, nothing crazy or special, you can put a statement piece together that is maybe more on the more expensive side. Maybe it's a silk scarf, maybe it is a jewelry piece, something that will accentuate a simple dress. Maybe it's a nice pair of shoes or a bag or even a hat. Any of those things can kind of make the outfit look a little bit more complex and also drive an interesting eye to certain parts of you wherever you wear that. So it's a really great thing to add on to simple outfits to really take them over the top, to make it look like you put a lot of effort into them even though you did not. The next one, tip number 4, is being well groomed, such as your nails, your hair. This honestly can ruin the most beautiful outfit with a simple something that just doesn't look well groomed. Just completely ruins it, right? If you have chipped nail polish and you look great and put together, if someone notices these fine details, it's just your elegance just goes down the window essentially, right? And if your hair is really messy or unbrushed or uncleaned and you're going out and you're trying to dress fancy, just make sure that you take care of those areas first as well. And have you ever noticed if you're wearing like a sweatsuit and you decide to do your hair just alone or maybe just your makeup, that it takes your outfit up a complete different notch and you say, wow, I'm looking pretty great today even though I only just curled my hair. Not saying that you actually have to curl your hair or do anything elaborate, but just looking clean and presentable really takes any outfit to the next level. The next tip is not having any distractions on yourself. And that means really loud makeup, really loud jewelry or stacking of jewelry, which I talked about in my other video. And the reason for that is that it really takes away from you. I know that, of course, sometimes you want to experiment with certain outfits, and of course that's great, but for a kind of fine-tuned look, just be cautious of what the viewer's attention is going to. What mood are you in today? Do you want the attention to be on you, or do you want it to be on a certain part of your outfit, or maybe your makeup if you're a makeup artist? But keep in mind that first impressions are a big deal, right? And if somebody notices your makeup first because maybe you're just put a lot of it on, then maybe subconsciously to them you will be known as the person that wears a lot of makeup, or the person that is really into makeup. Well, maybe your first impression, you want it to be something else. Maybe if it's in a business setting, you want it to be about your educational background or about your abilities, and in that case you really don't want to put attention into any other external things such as a loud jewelry piece or a loud makeup or even a loud outfit. Again, really take into account the context of the situation. And the last one is something not to do. And that goes a little bit in line with the previous tip of not having any negative distractions on you. So while having fancy makeup or a fancy outfit is more or less more of a positive distraction, there are things on the opposite side of the spectrum. And that is if you are unclean, again, if you have chipped nail polish, if you have dirty shoes, let's say wrinkled clothes, any of that, because that is a negative distraction. And for some reason, our brains just love to notice these things, even subconsciously. Obviously, we're not judging a person for being a bad person for having these things, but it does fold into the greater image of kind of what people interpret about you when they see you. And while that might not be a big deal, a lot of the times in certain places, if you're trying to make an impression, and like I said, if you're in a business setting or on a date or at a networking, you really do want to present yourself in the best way possible, and that means not having any negative distractions. And that's the thing about, I think, elegance and manners and really etiquette, is making people feel comfortable and not making them feel like they just can subconsciously stare into a negative distraction that you have. And you will also feel better and know that if anyone catches anything on you, you just look perfect all the time. Not literally, but you know, you just look the best you can possibly be. So let me know what you think about this video. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, to hit the like button, and to check out my $1 million program below so we can stay connected. I will see you in the next video.